go. The 79 gets caught up in it just at the very end. The 67 though, and Nathan Stanley makes it on through free and clear. He, Paul Verdiani, and Larry Dickerson having a drag race down to the for one last attack, getting underneath him, not quite able to make it stick, having to lift once again. Oh, into exit of turn number 4, down onto the front straightaway here. Who's going to win it with the drag race? It's going to be Timothy Pope. First 3 and 4, 751 with a hefty lead here, about a half a car length as the one gets up into the wall with a run down. 200 feet. It's going to be a close one across the line. Garrett Welsh made it 3 wide on the far outside lane, picking up spots left and right here as everybody fighting for every single spot we go. Coming across the line, white flag. So here we go, final lap. Hello and welcome everybody into some Monday night racing action here as this field of Num Thumbs Racing League Cup Series drivers take on the big old baby down there in Bama. That's Talladega. Oof, man, we're having ourselves a little bit of a speed week here. Had iRacing Super Speedway and a pretty good race last night. Well, we get to turn it all around here again and get up to speeds of close to 200 miles an hour inside of this draft for this PROspec Custom Accessories 185 here tonight. Who's going to end up on top and who's going to be a back up there on the haulers? Man, we just got to wait and find out. So let's go ahead and get things all started on off with the National Anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome back. As always, we have to say a huge thank you to the proud supporters of the NTRL, such as PROspec Custom Accessories out there in the Duval County area in Jacksonville, getting all those beautiful lights attached to all those beautiful cars or ATVs or even boats I saw on their website. So go ahead and check them on out to soup up your ride. And thank you, PROspec Custom Accessories, jumping on board here. Of course, we also have to say a huge thank you to Davidson Builders, premier custom builders up there in that northern New Jersey area, bringing on some fantastic custom builds out there. Be sure to go and check them on out and having a fantastic building quality there. You got DEP graphics, fantastic paint schemes there as well. He's got some freebies up there, but if you want something a little bit more custom for a reasonable price, head on over to DEP graphics and get yourself a fantastic paint scheme here today. Big thank you again to Sim Gear Central as well. Premier button box over there has all the flip styles, turn knob thingy, and anything you can think of, all at the reach of your fingertips to aid in your sim experience. So thank you to Sim Gear Central. Big thank you as well to Track Bar Media out there with some fantastic photo and video edits of real life and sim life racing, man. This is absolutely fantastic quality that they do over there. So be sure to go over there and check out Track Bar Media. And of course, big thank you as well to Martin Sports. Some fantastic custom apparel made for whether you're racing or just lounging around the house. Be sure to go and check out Martin Sports to get yourself some customized, fantastic quality gear here today. As always, I am Alan Brown, and I am joined by two of my best friends. One of which is the brew master in general and future father-in-law and having a wedding come to his house here this week, Mr. Alan English, joining me, I should say, here in the booth. So I know this wedding talk's getting old, man. I know how they go, but we're here tonight. Though we do have a fantastic race here at Talladega, coming off of a very good race where we even saw green flag pit stops from iRacing Super Speedway last night.
Could any of us have predicted that? I mean,
No.
iRacing Super Speedway, and we had green flag pit stops and a bunch of safe, somewhat safe racing out there at that 3-mile track. Yeah, it's going to be, round 2, ding ding, here at Talladega Super Speedway. A little bit shorter track, not quite the severe banking, but it's got enough to get the job done. We talk about every time we come to Talladega, the guy that's on the inside line coming out of turn 4s in the front of the field is usually not the guy that wins the race. Sometimes it is, but so much distance between the exit of turn 4 and the time they cross the start finish line, which is well after the tri-oval. So it's always interesting here. We never know what we're going to see, if we're going to see a ton of cautions or go flag to flag. So with NTRL, you never know. So that's one reason. Don't miss a race, because you might miss one that we might not see again. So yeah, definitely looking forward to what tonight has in store.
And that indeed. And our anger management specialist down there on pit road, Mr. Adam Turner, all tuned in for this race here tonight, Adam. It should be a fun and fantastic wild ride for these drivers.
Yeah, last night we saw a good one. Not in too much anger, really clean racing, and then those were Gen 6. Now we're in the Harbor Freight machine, the old next gen. We'll see how this works. I don't remember doing too much super speedway stuff with these. I think they draft fine. I mean, just don't hit the wall. It's going to tear that thing up. I don't know. I mean, somebody's going to get mad because we will have the big one at some point. We'll just wait for it. Hopefully they can race it clean, get it to about 10 to go, and just start tearing each other's heads off. That's what I'd like to see.
Oh my goodness!
Well,
It'd be positive, but that was.
I'm always positive. Yeah, you're the one that's not.
Negative Nancy.
But here's the rules right now. 1 fast repair, 80% fuel, 3 sets of tires total. You don't need them really here. 18 incident points, you'll start accruing penalties. 25, you'll be disqualified. 117 last I checked. It might have even gotten hotter. That's 116 now, but it's going to be a fun one.
And that it should be, as we take a look here at tonight's race info. Beautiful weather here at Talladega, so these drivers not going to have to face off anything with that, man. It's going to just be a fantastic night for these race drivers here, bringing us down to tonight's key to the race. And boy, oh boy, is it ever so true. It takes two to tango here at Talladega. This is one of those tracks where you absolutely need a partner, whether it's a partner on your team or just somebody else racing around there with you. you definitely have to team up with somebody.
Yeah, you definitely can't do it on your own here. We see guys that, maybe they are trying to do like a different pit strategy or something, and it doesn't get communicated to a teammate or whoever they're trying to run with. Ultimately, you're going to have guys get separated too with stuff like maybe a caution comes out and your buddy got a fender damage or something. So, and it splits up the team, right? So you got to find somebody to go with. You sure as hell can't do it by yourself here. The draft is too important.
Oh, and last night we saw a total team effort. Albert Anderson, America's driver, and All-Star Racing, I think that's their team over there. They had all four out of their 5 cars were in the top 4, so it really worked out on that super speedway with that particular car. We'll see how Albert can do. He runs real well at these super speedways, but tonight's a different night.
That indeed it is, as we get this field all slowly starting to figure out their way here in qualifying, trying to grid on up. We thank you all for tuning in and watching. As always, we thank you guys for showing up week in and week out. And of course, if you haven't done so already, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell, so that way you get alerted every single time that we go live. Because, man, well, that's how you stay informed here with some of this great racing action, and you don't want to miss a single second of it.
That's right. Alrighty, a bunch of folks over there in the YouTube chat. Michael Skelton joining us, pulling for Gavin Ray in the 27. Daniel Poachlock joining us, and thanks AAA for the broadcast. Hey, thank you for being here, man. Y'all are the reason why we're here in the first place. Derek Donna joining us, saying another night, exciting racing. Let's go Dana Shepard and his team. Awesome paint schemes out there. Race smart and hard, and always, Dana, turn left, please. Yeah, Daniel, yeah, we do a little broadcasting for beer money. Sure do. Okay. John Buckley saying good evening. Then Derek Welch giving us some instruction about, you guys better be positive on the radio or on the broadcast.
Well, in the meantime, we do have some special words coming to us here by one of these fantastic drivers, the 78 Mr. Brian Boyd, after completing his little bit of qualifying run here, man. I heard you got a little bit of a kind of a story here, especially coming up onto this 4th of July holiday that we got going on.
Yeah, man. Over the past couple weeks, it's been weighing on me. Some of my friends that, have, I guess, mental injuries from being in the service. Not all injuries are physical, right? And I got with Daniel from DEP Graphics, and shout out to him for making it happen. I asked him if we could run some Purple Heart cars to kind of honor those guys that have both physical and mental injuries coming up on this 4th of July holiday. It made me really, think on them and weigh on that hard. So,
well, definitely thanks for your service, man, and thanks for getting this positive message out there. A lot of people don't understand TBI or PTSD, so maybe they can educate themselves a little bit, and a little bit of awareness sometimes goes a long way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. I run with Mission 22 as my primary sponsor all the time, but the 22 a day comes from that PTSD and that TBI, so it's a fueler for it for sure.
Yeah, we appreciate talking to you. Good luck to you, and thank you for your service.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. Hey, thank you.
As we move Brian Boyd back down to the DEP channel here. Of course, all the DEP guys are going to be out there with some fantastic paint schemes like you see on the screen right now. For that Purple Heart, man, it's absolutely a fantastic looking car as always. We also do have a fantastic starting grid here, so let's go ahead and jump on down into our official grid rundown here for these drivers as they get all lined on up and into their race cars. 329 of Albert Anderson gonna get things started off here up at the top spot there. America's driver doing good. You got the one of Mr. DW Bogus himself Derek Welch getting things started off to his outside in second. The 05 PJ Cox getting things started here tonight in third with the 79 of Jarrett Woodard. Our friendly Canadian getting things started in fourth. Fifth will be the 00 of Joe Bennett, the original Florida man, getting things kicked off in fifth. You got the 78 of Brian Boyd, who we just talked to, starting things here in sixth, trying to get a good finish there for some of his buddies there in the military. You got the 28 of Chris Gones, trying to continue his great run of success here in the NTRL, getting things started in seventh. The 005 of AJ Evangelista, getting things started here tonight in eighth. Ninth will be the 51 of Mr. Chris Klein, with the 45 of the Mac Daddy, Mr. Mark Collins, rounding out your field, starting top 10.
The 8 of Dylan Bryant will start in 11th place outside row number 6. Justin, the X-Man Johnson in the 10. The 5 of Anthony Williams will start 13th. 14th will be Joe David in the 6. Tristan Cotton out there, or T-Cot, as some of the guys call him, in the 7 machine will start 15th place. 16th will be Larry Dickerson, our buddy in the 69. Gavin Ray has got a couple fans out there starting in 17th place. 18th will be Drew Blaze in the 66. Nick Biddy in the 32 will start 19th. And rounding out your top 20, the 4 of Russ Kilgore.
Yeah, 13, Jonathan Hammond. He'll start 21st. 71, Blaine Woodruff, 22nd. Somebody's having a difficulty getting onto the track there. Starting a car or something. There's an issue. Where was I? 2 of Scott Milner, 23rd. 92, Timothy Stubblefield. Mr. Tennessee, 24th. 76, Jeff Ottinger, 25th. Skylar Harrod in that 48 car, 26th. Christopher Campbell, number 68. He'll start 27th. Joe Hoggard starts 28th. Kevin Dega starts 29th. Stephen Wood in the 19 starts 29th. 30th. T. Cawthorne 31st. Dana Shepard in the 44. 32nd. And Sean Walton in the 23 starts 23rd. And we did have a couple of EOLs. I heard Mark Collins and Kevin Delia. I don't know exactly how it's going to shake out.
Yeah,
I think that was good. Yeah.
I don't know either there, buddy. But what I do know is we're rounding this field out of turn number 4, getting ready to head on out for that green flag. That S4 guy, Zach Millett out there saying, have a good race, gents, out of town to Gettysburg for a few. Have a good time out there. Just go find a random spot in a field, start digging a hole. I'm sure you're going to find a musket ball or something out there.
Mm-hmm.
Glad to have you at least watching the broadcast out here tonight. And we, as the pace car peels off down onto pit road, here we go.
They added a lap of caution.
Okay. Yeah. I kind of figured that things were looking a little awkward there.
I wanted to save you before you got too wound up, you know.
Yeah, I was hearing about this Gettysburg thing. I'd never been. That seems like a nice historic visit. You know,
you've never been?
No, I had never spent any time on the East Coast except Florida, and I did go to DC a couple times. That's it. I hadn't been up in your neck of the woods over there.
Oh man, you gotta go to Gettysburg. That's some hallowed grounds. There's very few spots where you can walk around and feel just the presence of something. You definitely feel it there.
I can imagine. Powerful moment in American history.
They got a Civil War battlefield down south of me in Mansfield, Louisiana. It's the same kind of feeling that you get, walking out there, and you just think, man, there was guys laying all over the place.
On both sides. That's why we became a stronger nation. Because of that thing. But we want to forget it with the history books. Let's just throw away the history books and tear everything down. That's not the way to, you learn from history. You don't, or you're going to repeat it, So I don't care what side you're on, or it doesn't matter. It brought us together as a nation. And
Michael Skelton.
Better for it. What's he got going on?
He says he's looking forward to seeing what Gavin Ray has up his sleeve tonight. Excited to see him in this race after what happened last year here. Let's see. Ginger Parent here saying nowhere to go but forward for the 44. Shepherd Racing. Supporting combat vets tonight. Awesome. I'll be pulling for them purple cars as well, I think.
Absolutely. You can See them all scattered out here throughout this field as that pace car peels off down onto pit road here for the official time this time. Albert Anderson in DW getting things all lined on up with the 00 and the 79 right there as well to give them that aided little bit of boost. Again, remember that start finish line is after the tri-oval here as I enter in that Geico restart zone for the first time. Green flag racing. Here we go at Talladega. Sending this field off down and running into turns 1 and 2 side by side. They stay all locked on up. Man, that bottom line is looking neat and tidy, but that top line still getting a little bit of help there up at the front by a big pull by that one of DW. Some sweeping and banging. Everybody trying to jockey for position here early. And once again, with these cars, it looks like that middle to upper lane just getting that nice run out of these corners. It started to slowly trickle on forward as we're almost 3 wide here. Looks like one's being kind of split in half there. Looked like that was the 69 machine of Larry Dickerson dropping back a couple spots from the middle.
Yeah, and the outside line gets the run from like turn 2 all the way into turn 4, and then they start to lose ground as they come around the front of the track. So you might see some more of that tonight.
Well, so far, keeping it together. It's the beginning of the race. Let's not get too crazy just yet, you know. People, there's always that one guy, you know. It's the one guy on the freeway, too, that you just want to, you know, give him a pit maneuver because he's so obnoxious. We hadn't seen that guy out here yet, though.
Just one guy? I want to do it to everybody out there.
Well, yeah, there's usually one that's really the
You want
worst.
to do it with an 18-wheeler, though. That's what'll be fun.
I'll be safe. Everyone else may not, but I'll be fine.
That is cool. I'd love to see you do that. I mean, we'll probably see you on the news. We'll never have any more broadcasts, but where'd he go? Well, he did that pit maneuver thing. Broadcasting is over.
Ooh, as we're still staying 3 wide here, that 69 kind of stuck there in the middle. Looks like he's got the 005 of Evangelista there to his outside and down low. Looks like that's the 92 of Stubblefield. Ooh, some contact, some beating and banging, some pinball going on down there.
Yeah, a little early for all that, isn't it? But AJ Evangelista was trying to put a little side draft down there on the cars below him there, and let's see.
Ooh, they're having at it too. The 005 and Larry Dickerson. The claims there might have been net code involved. I didn't get to see it.
Well, another thing we saw too was in practice when these guys are trying to push each other. You've got to be square on these cars. If you're not perfectly square and you try to give somebody a bump, you're going to send them spinning. We saw it some in the practice.
As the 71 Blaine Woodruff kind of sees this all unfold here out in front of him. Of course, while they were being 3 wide like that, they just kept moving back slowly and slowly and slowly, and now they're kind of towards the mid-tail of this main pack. We do kind of have a little bit of a chase pack already forming up here with the 64 of Hoggard. He's trying to stay grouped up with the 2 of Scott Milner back here. They're about a second off of where this main group is, but then you got PJ Cox and the 05 and the 48 of Skylar Herod trying to work well together here all the way back. I mean, they're almost half a lap down already, trying to work together and fight their way on back. You also got Justin Johnson and Drew Blaze trying to tag team as well to catch up with those guys.
Still T-Stubbs out there trying to pass everybody. He's up 12 spots, currently in 12th in that black 92.
That's a lot of spots to make up in 5 laps or 4 laps or whatever we've done.
Yeah.
So good for him. Did it safely, apparently. I think somebody out there was being a little aggressive, and we've had a couple comments on the radio about the number 69. We'll see what he does. But last night he drove his way to the front and ended up in the top 4.
Man.
Good 69 and the 005 just got in a heated battle there. It's going to happen tonight.
Yeah, I think so. It will, and you know, that's one of those things. Again, especially early on in this run, you don't necessarily want to be making enemies because that person might be your lifeline here later on to stay in the draft and You know, here on lap number 6, if you're making enemies, man, this is going to be a long race for you.
Yeah, if I door turner, let's say, in turn 2 or something, and then
Mm-hmm.
later on, I need to get back down to that inside lane and make a pit stop or something, he ain't gonna let me in.
No, not going to happen. No,
Ever.
thank you.
Oh,
Ooh,
look
three
at this.
wide.
Albert Anderson trying to get down in the inside line, and he gets there.
Well, it's
Goodness.
3 wide up front almost.
Oh,
Kinda.
man, yeah, it's a little bit of a stagger here as the 8 of Dylan Bryant gets a great run and a great push from that 7 machine of the Trister. Tristan Cotton giving a big old push there, but now it looks like that middle lane trying to regather, and it's one of those weird merges that happens, and like you swear there was 3, maybe 4 lanes going on. Next thing you know, everyone all filters back, and we're back down to 2.
Look at old T Money pushing the 8. He's doing a pretty good job right there. Got to keep that bumper square. It looks like he's getting it done there
Ooh,
so
and
far
he's
as he moves down in front of Double O.
Yeah, he's getting tired of pushing that 8 machine, or maybe that machine just needs a little bit more air, starting to run a little bit hot as he jumps down in front of Double O Joe.
Just in time for Mom to be here. Tracy Cotton joining us, and Mom's late, but I'm here. Come on, Trister. Chris Stantz here for T Money as well.
He's leading. He let it for a second there, but I'll tell you what. Be careful what you wish for. Being up front right now doesn't mean a thing. I mean, it's nice because you get to stay out of some of the stuff, potentially. But Chump to Champ here is like the real thing. Anybody within, the draft, basically, or a secondary pack even, can win this thing. So it's more of a marathon than a sprint. So you just got to be a little strategic about everything here.
And not to mention these cars, as you can see up here at the front with some heavy pushes. You got that 51 of Chris Klein all over that back bumper here of the 8 of Dylan Bryant. All it takes is a little touch, and these things get all squirrely and loosey-goosey. It's just taking all that air off the back end of these things. Oh, as the 7 gets sucked down underneath, down to the bottom line, we're going 3 wide here.
Yeah, and it looks like a lot of the cars elected to go behind the Double O and not the 7, even though the 7 is the shortest way around the track there on the inside. And it's like he's going to lose a buku of positions.
And it happens, but you're not out of it. You're still in the fight. Just stay within the pack. Ooh, got turned right there.
Still heavy contact
AJ
going on.
Evangelista.
Yeah, still drifting on down there. Oh, goodness. Oh, and yeah, we're still wrecking. Albert Anderson getting snagged up in it, and that one will bring out the caution.
2 separate crashes there. We'll have to figure out what happened. I think it was Double O Joe started the first one.
Man.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and take a quick look-see back to see kind of what happened. Well, it looked like Double O Joe saw an opening down low, wasn't quite happy with the line that the 005 was running there, so he's like, I'll go down low. Well, at the same time, 005, I don't know if he was looking in the mirror or just didn't hear anything from the spotter, but came straight down with that machine, and then kind of just after that, I think people had some of that quick little panic moment.
Yeah, 329. America's driver Albert Anderson. I think there's net code on that.
Yeah, that was net code.
I mean, they weren't that close.
That was net code.
So they got net coded, unfortunately.
Looking back at the 005 and the 00, I bet Joe Bennett, he went all the way below the yellow line trying to escape and avoid the contact without wrecking himself, but sometimes a spotter just doesn't tell you quick enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The 005, by the time he heard it in the spotter, it was already too late, I'm sure.
And, again, we talk about it all the time, the difference between a real-life spotter and the AI spotter, as it looks like we're having some people come in, some people stay out, so having a little bit of a field mix-up going on here to shake things on up. But for the most part, it looks like pretty much everybody coming on down into pit road, but just being able to call out the runs, like, hey, this guy's coming up, he's got to run, stay here, do this, do that, It's almost, I would personally argue, as it looks like fuel only for quite a few drivers out here. Chris Klein and Dylan Bryant having a great race coming off of pit road there. But at these plate tracks, man, I don't think it's as much the driver. I think it's the spotter that actually wins the races.
They have a lot to do with it, that's for sure.
Well, if you
We
can't
don't
have,
get to hear that here.
yeah, and if you don't have if you just have iRacing spotter, that's not very good. But then there's these spotter add-on packs; those sometimes help, right? I mean,
I've never had one.
I've used one and it was pretty good. I don't know what
Is it-
your experience with it, Brown, was, but the
It
little
was
add-on
it was okay. I kind of felt it was similar. You just could adjust more data, so you would voice command like your pit stop rather than have to click through 7 different screens.
Yeah, but like as far as being clear and stuff like that, I thought it was a little better, but nothing like the real thing, right? Like having your own buddy's spot for you. I don't think we have anybody's spot.
No, there's nothing like when you're out in the middle of a lead at the Daytona road course in those ARCA cars and you have 2 crew chiefs and a spotter in your ear discussing the origins of the word yeet.
I forgot about all that.
Oh, so they didn't do you right. The human spotters were just
No, we were doing a pretty
jibber-jabbering.
good job.
they were just.
I mean, some
chit-chatting.
guys like Brown, he doesn't really need a spotter unless he's got traffic around him. So yeah, we filled it in with some extra
You
commentary.
didn't want to hear that.
Those
obviously.
12 and 24-hour races, you got to do something to keep yourself from going nuts.
Yeah, I could see that.
He was joining in the conversation too, talking about yeet this and yeet that. Don't let him fool you.
Well, you guys kept laughing about guys missing the chicanes because they messed up the Daytona road course and had to make it all NASCARified.
Yeah,
We can't send people off full speed down into turn number 1. Yes, you can. It's called brakes.
Very yeetish corner there.
I forgot about all that yeet.
Self-yeeting.
The yeet.
People don't even
And the
use that anymore, do they?
No, it changes. These kids, they change the vernacular all the time. I don't know what anything means anymore. But I know what yee means. You heard of that one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it means. I just hear him yelling it.
Yeah, yee. Yeah, I don't know what it means either, but I think it's like an excitement, a feeling of joy.
Like, yippee!
Yeah, something dumb like that. Oh,
Oh,
man.
Vincent Short says, good luck tonight, fellas. Still recovering from the highly disliked iRacing Super Speedway last night.
Hmm.
With a laughing emoji. At least he's able to laugh about it.
It was a good race, though.
Yeah, not everybody had good luck there, though, man. Some guys got caught up in some stuff.
It's a crapshoot when you go to one of these plate tracks. Anybody can
Sure.
win. Oh God.
Sorry.
Lap 12. That's pretty good though. You waited until lap 12.
I'm only going to do it once per race.
Yeah.
Interrupt you with a sure.
Sure.
About that. Not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Is that what it is?
Yeah, sorry, not sorry.
Saying that.
Mhm.
Hip.
We get another one of these cautions. I'm gonna bring one of these conspiracy theories out. I've been
All right. We didn't get to talk about any last time.
No, last night. I think the fans were asking for some, but no, I'm gonna hold them in my pocket till this gets crazier. So it's not too crazy yet. Just one crash. We're about to roll it.
Yeah, that we are. We're getting things all restarted off here with the 71 Blaine Woodruff. Getting it kicked off with the 00 of Joe Bennett to his outside. Also got the 13, Jonathan Hammond, getting a pretty good starting spot there in the Hooters machine. He's going to have the 51 Chris Klein to his outside here as they get everything all up to speed. The green flag is out, and away we go. Once again, here from Talladega, everybody trying to get it all lined on up and fired on up. Everybody all back to... for the most part, single file. Looks like Justin Johnson and some drivers back here, little slow on the gun, maybe leaving a little bit too much room here as they filter on backwards. But once again, that middle lane getting a big push. The 71 now. Here comes the 13 with a big run. Oh, looked like he was going to go to the far outside lane, maybe try to make a secondary move here and push the envelope. But here comes that 8 of Dylan Bryant down on the low side with some help from, looks like that's a 32, Mr. Nick Biddy down there.
continue to run here. Sean Walton is up 22 spots from the back. Jeff Ottinger, another one of your big movers out here. But Blaine Woodruff in the lead right now. Up from 22nd spot. So 21 positions in 12 laps.
Sean Walton running the McDonald's paint scheme that you probably would have saw back in probably the mid-late 90s.
Oh.
Yeah, Grimace on there.
Yeah, well, that was probably in the 80s if Grimace was on there.
No, not in the 90s.
No.
If I would recognize like the scheme of it, it was 90s.
They replaced all the characters like the hamburger and everything with just a saying like "ba-da-ba-ba-da," and they got rid of all the
Why'd they get rid of the Hamburglar? That was the
I don't
coolest thief you'd ever met. He looked cool too, the Hamburglar. And Grimace and
Because it was encouraging kids to steal.
man, they were encouraging kids nowadays to do all kinds of other crazy stuff. Hell, stealing a hamburger ain't nothing compared to what they're doing
Contact
now.
up at the front. Blaine Woodruff with a hard push from behind. By the 13th, Jonathan Hammond gets a little all squirrely, and that checked up the field and sent people scattering about here. And it's still trying to work its way back together. Oh, there goes the 8 and the 13 down into 32, and that's coming back on up. And oh, this one's a big one.
That's the big one right there, boys.
Well, Gavin Ray just scooted through some of that, got lucky.
And it could have been worse for the 8 machine of Dylan Bryant. I think he still has some significant damage, though. He's trying to get it back around.
Well, with this big one here, Turner, why don't you go and let the people know how many, or remind them how many fast repairs they have here tonight.
Only one. You have one fast repair, that's it. So you use it, that's it. It's over with. So
Ooh,
you're
looked
gonna
like
have to
the 8 was trying to shoot the gap. They saw a hole between the 13 and the 00 machine. And then it started off a little bit as net code, but it ended up being they were going to make contact anyway. And you can just see it was an absolute mess. The 1 of DW, the 28 machine getting all turned around, 76, 92, the 23, 32.
Well, I think that worked out perfect for the 76 of Ottinger. He's got his sponsors like Cessna and Beechcraft, so
He went
airplanes.
flying.
Yeah, he went flying, so that was probably meant to be.
Oh, did Ottinger go flying?
Yeah, he went up there. Ooh-wee.
Biddy kind of got sandwiched in the middle of that wreck.
Yeah.
Eric Donna says this is Grimace's birthday month.
Is it?
So why anybody would know that? Unless it's their advertising it, maybe. Oh, I remember that Mayor McCheese. Remember Mayor McCheese?
Yeah. He's probably like, a political just
We had a hamburger for a head.
nightmare. Yeah, do you remember when you could climb in the head on the toys and the?
Yeah, and it had the little bars. You could pretend like you were in jail.
Yeah,
And it was in
inside a
Texas, so it
hamburger-
was really hot, and you burned yourself
Yeah.
on the middle.
inside a hamburger that was 5 foot off the ground on AstroTurf, 5 billion degrees outside.
And there's one ladder to get up into the thing and out, and all the kids, some trying to get in, some trying to get out. There's kids screaming. It's a nightmare.
Well, that was back in the day. That was a fun time. Made you stronger, didn't it?
I tell you what, it was fun.
Oh, good memories with those. The thief, Hamburglar, and the mayor, Grimace, and Ronald McDonald.
I will say that, like, so I really didn't do the whole McDonald's too much growing up. Mainly only did it, if we're out doing doing sporting stuff, out there all day, and it's like, we need something quick to eat. But there was nothing that made you feel like a man more than when you were a kid and you get the big breakfast in the styrofoam tray thing.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, I'm an adult. I'm eating a big breakfast.
Yeah, and kids can eat that too, man. So once you get to a certain age, you'll eat it up. Yeah, you think you're grown up.
Yeah.
All you're waiting for is like a cup of coffee and just like a whole bunch of thousands of bad decisions and disappointments, you know. So enjoy the big breakfast while you can as a child.
Yeah.
Doesn't get any
Because
better.
then later it gives you diabetes or high blood pressure.
Yeah, then you'll be over there smoking a cigarette after your meal and your life's in shambles.
Like that Ben Affleck meme leaning up against the wall, just regretting all your decisions.
Yeah, I think that's been me several times in my life.
Ugh.
But hey, everything's better now that. Did you see this? I saw this the other day. This Trudeau guy up in Canada, he apparently, there's some kind of whispers that he may be the offspring of Fidel Castro. Now, that makes sense to me because of what he's imposed on his fine citizens of Canada. He's got the mindset for it. I mean, yeah, do a side by side. I think he could be
Fidel Castro. Explain to the folks who Fidel Castro is.
Well, he's passed on, but he was a huge communist down there in Cuba. That's
right.
The puppet of the Russian Soviet regime, and now the Chinese
Khrushchev,
communist. So I think they're surrounding us, is what I'm getting at. Just saying.
In other words of world leaders, did you know that the CEO of IKEA got elected as president of Sweden?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Did he have to put together his own furniture in his freaking new office?
Yeah, he is.
He
is still currently assembling his cabinet.
Oh, it was a joke. Oh,
it was coming, man.
I thought it was a real story, and I had a good punchline to it. Oh, dang.
I mean, he could probably be better than any other lifetime politician anyway. Man. Well, we're going to have some fun here once we get back to racing. That was just one small conspiracy theory. I don't know if you've heard that one before, English.
I have never heard that, no.
Well, do some research.
That's from the 47th page of whatever you're reading.
Get in the laboratory, man. You got to get in the laboratory late at night, get your whiskey,
laboratory.
Start going to town. You're going to find all kinds of stuff.
You have reached the end of the internet. Have you seen that notification?
Yes. Yeah.
That's the
Ginger Parent says that that last wreck looked like somebody's making a salad, just throwing stuff up in the air. Go ahead,
it was a mess.
And so we get ready to head on back for some green flag racing here once again. Double O Joe and Blaine Woodruff getting things fired on up here, up at the front. The only two drivers in this field that have yet to come on down to pit road at all here tonight. And Double O Joe is even involved in one of the first instances here, but here we go. Everybody all fired back on up and running side by side. Double O Joe jumping up to that middle lane here, getting in front of that 71 machine, wasting no time whatsoever, trying to command that line here. You can also see the 51 of Chris Klein. He's hoping for that 5 of Anthony Williams to try to get on up there, give him a push, but here comes the run on that outside lane. Oh, that's leaving Double O Joe all alone here in the middle. Ooh, boy, he's about ready to become the spam in the sandwich.
Caleb Young out there pulling for Brian Boyd. Boyd holding his own so far in that outside line. Is now he changed his mind. He's going to join behind the 48 of Skylar Herod. I like the inside line here. I just like to being able to see that yellow line for reference.
Yeah, it keeps a little straighter. Look at Woodruff's paint. Olive Garden. I hadn't seen this before. That's a cool looking paint. Look like an Italian flag. An Olive Garden paint scheme.
Wow.
That's pretty awesome.
That it is. It looks like Boyd maybe not quite liking what he is seeing up here up at the front and likes to try to retreat to safety here as he lets a good chunk of this field go down and still down there on the apron. He's got to hurry up and get back into that draft, otherwise he's going to be in a world of hurt there. It looks like he's got at least a 005 there still racing around him. Same thing with the 17 of Tate Cawthorn. Meanwhile, up here, up at the front, we remain 2 by 2. Albert Anderson getting that big old push after getting wrecked there. He's trying to make a big shuffle up here at the front. He's got the 71 helping him on out. Same thing with Double O Joe. Also got that 27 of Gavin Ray. I know there's a couple people out there cheering on the Ray machine here tonight, trying to get him on up onto this podium.
Albert Anderson's sideways.
He got him.
Bad push.
Yeah, that was Woodruff, I think, got him.
And it looks like he was at least able to save it. So no heavy damage there for the 329, and he's still got some people racing around there as he tries to get back up to speed and then get back onto the track here, as he's just waiting for someone to give him a little bit of room.
Yeah, I don't think you've seen the last America's driver, Albert Anderson, but I was going to comment. I was watching him up front, and he just holds that line so smoothly, and he was on the middle line there. Just smooth as ice. Unlike some of these guys you're seeing bounced around.
Well, it could also be because he was up there at the front of that line, so he's getting that benefit of the air in front of him not being so turbulent. Sure. Whereas, these guys in line, they can't see what's going on more than 2 feet in front of them, and True. B, they're getting all this dirty air bouncing around off their cars.
That's true, but he just holds his line. He's a good driver.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's one of my favorites. I can't say that on the air, though, but Albert Anderson, America's driver. Oh,
my goodness. We're fired.
I like all these guys.
Will that be the straw that broke the camel's back? Was this,
no, I don't think so. I've done
favorites with the drivers. Y'all are fired.
If they fire us over something like that, then that's crazy, because I've done some wild stuff, said some crazy things.
Very crazy things. Outlandish things, even.
I know. Stuff that might get me stuck in the gulag somewhere if they go back and listen to some of this stuff.
So watching the Olive Garden car run up front here reminds me of something. The breadsticks have changed there. Have y'all noticed that?
I haven't been to one in years. I don't.
Well, it's not the same. Chicken parm's still good. Salad is still awesome. But the breadsticks, I don't know what they did.
I mean, it's really like
There's
the
not
McDonald's
even Italian people working there.
Of Italian, it's just, it's not real Italian. It's just,
no, it's not.
They're just throwing stuff together, probably pre-made in Mexico somewhere and shipped up here.
Me and the wife still eat there every now and then. She likes
Well, I would eat it. I mean, the salad, soup and salad, or the salad and breadsticks is good.
They have good soup too, yeah. I've tried to make a couple of their soups.
I'm not banging on Olive Garden because they may be a sponsor of ours one day, so I got to be careful.
Yeah, that'll be the day.
Well, you never know.
Well, bless your heart.
Well, the race in action continues to roll on here. About 10 laps away from halfway here at Talladega. Woodruff up in front with Double O Joe Bennett, Jonathan Hammond, Jarrett Woodard up there, as well as Gavin Ray, Mark Collins, Skylar Herod is cruising around up there as well.
I always tell when Adam's laughing because I hear him hit his mute button.
I can't. It was funny. So look, not everybody, I think, that watches this and listens to some of the stupidity of us, besides the racing is good. But when we have time, we like to delve off into stupid stuff.
Yes.
Not everybody knows what bless your heart means, like.
Yeah.
This half where I live, where you live, we know. Basically, it means, bless your heart means you are so dumb.
You're an idiot.
You're an idiot, but that's the nice way of saying it. I don't know what it means in your part of the country, Brown. Does it mean the same thing, or does it just mean like, or do you even say that?
We don't even say it. Sweet.
Yeah.
Follow around here with the 32 and Nick Bidou. We also saw the driver camera. Ooh, some slicing and dicing going around Biddy here, but talk about a guy who's too cool for Scoop. He got his sunglasses on.
Oh, man.
It might be because the screen contrast is up. I mean, you got.
He looks like his face is in the screen.
It might be.
Maybe he could be having. You think he's got the 3D glasses on? He might have some Elon Musk prototype stuff in there.
Goodness.
Or there's a reason why people should always wear sunglasses while they're indoors. It's because the sun never sets on a badass.
Oh, I like that. I better go get my shades real quick.
Skylar Herod continues to lead this lower line. Nobody's jumped in front of him here yet. He's getting pushed by the by the 7 of Tristan Cotton. A little upper line, kind of a little bit of snake action going there.
Mm-hmm.
Making me nervous now, boys.
And of course, the more and more these guys run, the more worn those tires are gonna get. And I know we don't really talk about it because it really doesn't come into play all that much about tire wear. But oh man, when you're in line like this and your tires start getting a little bit worn out there, it can get a little squirrely on them.
That's the fact.
And the heat. You add that heat. The track's 116 right now. It can come into play for sure. Just a little slippery. It's not going to wear out on you like a short track, like your right front's not going to. The whole set of tires is just going to, kind of slide out from underneath you every once in a while.
Mike Skelton out there saying, "Come on, Gavin," as he continues to follow Gavin up through the field here. Tracy Cotton says, "Us Texans know. Us Texans know."
Yeah.
We all know what that means, huh?
Yeah, we do know. We also know
Yeah, we
what
do.
it's like driving down I-35 with a hand on the wheel,
Beer between your
beer
legs.
between your legs, and a pistol in the other hand. And then it gets western sometimes on I-35. You know what I mean? It's
But not on
dangerous.
the toll road. Everybody's friendly on the toll road. Even
No,
though
they're not
everybody's
friendly
doing
on any road. No, the toll road, that's
Yeah.
even worse because the speed limit's higher.
85.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they think, well, 85, that's 110. That speed limit don't apply in Texas. Ooh,
It's
they're
just a
getting,
suggestion.
yeah, they're getting a little squirrely up front. Now they're coming into lap traffic. What's going to happen?
PS don't put up with nothing though. They'll still write you a ticket. Oh boy, the 4 is down low. Big checkup on the inside line from Skylar Herod.
Yeah, that's the lap car. I believe.
Yep, they did. They caught him. They had to check up for him because
He was
running
wanting
by
them to-
himself.
Yeah, he's wanting to pick him up. Didn't work out.
Daniel Popeschlag with a update saying, "Hey guys, they got a little train running back there. They're picking up times. The 1978, the 53, and the 64. All the purple people eaters back there with the."
Ooh, getting squeezed
Purple
though here
Heart
with
Williams,
Anthony
man.
Williams stuck in the middle between Ottinger and the 68 Campbell there.
Yeah, he really wanted through there, didn't he, Anthony Williams?
Whew.
Squeezed
Ooh.
right in between them.
A little mixing it up too between Chris Klein and Joe David in the 48 there. Little squeeze play action going on at the same time y'all's was.
Yeah. Well, we're not even halfway through just yet. You got to be a little bit conservative, I would think. But, once these guys, you get in the virtual cockpit, they're behind the wheel, something changes in your, blood flow. You're like, man, I got to be number one, I'll turn somebody to win this thing, That's how these drivers are. Get really aggressive.
Gavin ran the 27, continues to make a huge run, catching up to the back bumper of the 7. Pushing towards the front.
Good looking
Where's that
good.
group of purple cars at? I gotta go find them real quick here. There they are. They're sitting
Oh,
all
wreck
in
up
Oh,
front.
wreck up at the front indeed. Oh my goodness. I've got to bring out the caution flag here as we approach that halfway point.
There's some people that are not happy with whatever just happened out there. Oh, here we go. Here we
Bennett
go.
in the 7.
Yeah.
00 Joe Bennett snagged up in that one.
So I don't know exactly what happened there.
Well, I can't tell anything from that really. So we did look at a different angle. I'm sure we can see something.
I think the 48 probably thought he had a run because where Double O Joe was running.
And
But typically, I don't know. Never lift, I guess, is what they tell you sometimes. I've heard that one before. I don't really know.
And right as the 48 got involved in that, Abigail Volk came on YouTube chat, said, "Come on, 48, get it, baby." And then we saw that happen almost the same exact time. Coincidence?
Yeah, they do not have race control tonight, so nobody's gonna
No, they don't. No.
be penalized. I think they're gonna have to watch it after the race.
And that's what Double O Joe was saying on the radio. He's like, "Hey, you know what? Whatever happened there, we'll look at it after."
Did you get all the angles there, Brown, so they can review that and do what they got to do?
I think they saved the
course.
replay, don't they?
oh,
Of
well,
course
yeah,
they
yeah,
do.
of course they do.
They want to hear us talking. They want to hear all our nonsense.
Well, they can wait for all our nonsense as looks like the entire field coming on down. 48's deciding to stay on out here, but for the most part, everyone coming on down into pit road about halfway here through this race, coming at y'all from Talladega. We're going to take a quick step aside, and when we come back, we'll have the second half of this race here to show for y'all and all the excitement that comes with it. So sit on back, sit tight, grab some beverages, and see you guys here back in a bit. And welcome back as if we get everybody all lined back on up here, ready to go back to green flag racing. We're going to have the 13 and the 27 getting things started off here side by side. 68 of Chris Campbell and 92 is Stubbs, Timothy Stubblefield, starting up here up at the front. 00 Joe, Jeff Ottinger, Blaine Woodruff, Chris Klein, Joe David. Looks like Anthony Williams or Scott Milner, depending on whose bumper's in front of whose as they're coming around here. Is going to round out your top 10 currently. So as the pace car peels off down onto pit road, here we go. Pretty much everybody all re-racked and stacked, hitting the pit stops here within this caution period as we're officially at that halfway point. Here we go back to the green flag here at Talladega. Green flag racing here once again as the 27 and the 13 send it off down and running down into turns 1 and 2. The 92, man, he's going to look pretty racy here, trying to get up to that 27's rear bumper and give him a big old shove. But down low, that 68 machine really helping out that 13 of Jonathan Hammond, trying to get him up there way to the front.
Yeah, Rebecca Davis out there pulling for Stubbs in the 92, Stubb Nation. Thank you so much for being here, Rebecca. Good to see you.
Finally got some
Outside line is
Stubbs.
good on half the track.
Stubb Nation out here finally.
Yes. Well, she was on there earlier. I didn't work it in.
Man, you're really slacking on the job.
But LSU's putting a whooping on Florida over my shoulder now. So.
Okay, well, let's focus on this race. This is more
Yes,
important. Look at this. Really good racing up front. See what's happening in the back. I got the Rangers on over here.
One car blinking right there a couple of times, but it looks like they might have thrown something at the modem and corrected the issue.
Oh, that's all you have to do? If I knew that, I'd been doing that a long time
Smack it
ago.
with something. Yeah, or unplug it and plug it back in, which you don't really want to do in the middle
Just
of the
hit it
race.
with the
Just hit it with a
chunkla.
shoe. Yeah,
Hit it with the chunkla. Yeah.
The old chunkla throw. Angry
Yeah.
Tacos Network joining us, pulling for the 005, saying happy Monday, y'all.
Yeah.
You guys had a good Monday. I sure did.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm breathing. I'm above ground. I guess that's, pretty good. Really shouldn't be complaining, honestly. I mean, the country's doing great. I mean, the guy at the helm is turning the ship perfectly. The taxes are low here.
Oh,
There's no potholes. It's an amazing place where we live in
it's
the
not
U.S.
Louisiana.
Yeah, well, it's not anywhere around here. I was making that part up. I'm trying to throw the sin off, the
Fake
people that are
news.
watching me. Yeah, I'm trying to throw the sin off of how I really feel. Yeah, you're-
27 getting a great push from the 71, boys.
Yes.
Gavin Ray.
Ooh, it's a 48 down there are on the apron. Skylar Herod filtering his way backwards.
Now, English, where do you want to be in this far in a race? Would you prefer being at the front or kind of in the middle or maybe all the way in the
Halfway.
back?
Halfway. I don't want to be where the 71 is right now, which is in a little sucker hole here. And he's going to lose a bunch of spots. No, put me at the back of the lead pack. That's where I'd like to be right now. It's only halfway. Or the leader of the second pack.
You're really gambling wherever you are on the track at this point. I mean, we've seen crashes in the front, in the back, in the middle.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter. That's the thing about plate track racing. It's the gift that keeps on giving. It's like they just randomly number generator. Car 12 will be taking a right turn into the wall this lap. I mean, it's interesting how this is so much different than your short track, your mile and a half stuff.
Spiritual message from Michael Skelton, who says, "Oh yeah, Gavin, may the power of Ryan Blaney guide you to a win."
I think Ryan Blaney
Amen.
crashed yesterday.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, you probably don't want to use him as an example.
Oh.
I don't know. I only pay attention to my number one driver, Kyle Busch and Ross Chastain.
You pick the guys that are the most polarizing, you know?
Yeah, I picked the guy that everybody hates, you know. Why not? Take a stand. Take a stand.
Jessica pulling for Stubbs out there, saying, keep it up, babe. Stay clean. He's staying low right now. Brown, we talk about it too. When you're coming around last lap or two, where do you want to be? I like kind of outside row number 2 kind of ish.
Yeah, that's kind of where I like to be as well, as everyone filters on out. Speaking of turn number 4, filtering their way out, turn number 4 right now, and back down the start-finish line. Everybody looking pretty all locked in here. Do have PJ Cox leading that secondary pack. See a lot of those DEP race team purple machines here, but 05, PJ Cox, Drew Blaze, Justin Johnson, Nick Biddy, Albert Anderson, Dana Shepard. A lot of people who have been kind of caught up in some of this earlier chaos running around back here. I think they're trying to keep it so they don't risk being put out and disqualified.
Yeah, Michael Skelton clarifying there for you there, Turner, saying Blaney's got 2 wins at Talladega. That's what he was talking about, not Nashville.
Oh. Well, I'm just saying he just had a bad race. I mean,
Talk about his recent record. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I just go with the recent facts. Talladega, I'm sure like Danica Patrick probably won here once.
Oh no, you went
Yeah,
there.
I'm just saying it's
No,
just
she
kind
didn't.
of luck. Yeah, well, didn't that Ricky Spinhouse win? Her boyfriend, he won one time, I think. It's just luck of the draw at a track like that. You also got to have
That's a myth.
big money behind you too.
Yeah, some nerves too to do
Yeah,
some risky things here at a place
that's
track.
true. And I don't hate Blaney by any means. I don't.
I like watching his daddy race.
Yeah. Well,
Funny
proves
thing
your
about
age.
funny little story about Dave Blaney was that our buddy Jimmy that we all know, he used to race Outlaws, and he said that Dave Blaney would always have his trailer open and say, "Hey," he'd come up to Jimmy, "Hey, what did you break?" I broke a A-arm or whatever. He said, "Go in my trailer, get whatever you need." He was one of those guys at the track that he always wanted to help everybody else. So, but the one scraped the wall a little bit there behind the 27. I hope
That's a
Ryan
cool-
Blaney
that's a-
ends up the same way.
That's a feel-good story.
Yeah.
Now I like Ryan Blaney even more. I forgot about that story. I do remember hearing that.
Well, 3 wide with the 6 in the middle there. Makes it on through. Joe David's got a pretty quick race car.
And it's definitely been feeling it here tonight as lap 44 going on to lap 45, which means 26 laps to go as they come back down across the line. And I think these drivers still have one more pit stop to maybe do here, Turner. At least it's going to be pretty dang close.
Contact between the 71 and the 6.
Yeah, I think you're right. We're going to need one more just to fill it up for sure.
Well, lap traffic. We got any lap traffic coming up here that could be a factor. Looks like most of the lap traffic is clear around the other side of the track, so.
Ooh. Well, Larry Dickerson seems to make friends out there. He is really an aggressive driver, and everybody's kind of hollering at him tonight. So I don't know what he's doing, but winning.
I don't know. The camera wasn't on. What was
I
going
was
on
watching
there.
him, and it just happened to get lucky with it. He's just an aggressive driver. I think there's a lot of it. He's in 19th. It wasn't like
he's like our Ross Chastain. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but, I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
He's a decent
I
wheel
just-
man, but he just
heard him getting a couple of things tonight.
he's rubbing some people the wrong way. Is that what you're saying?
Sounds like it. But hey, that's good. You got to have a villain in every league.
Every story must have some kind of what do they call that? The antagonist.
That's a long word for you. You might want to dial that back. Use something similar. Don't use that long
What-
word.
Oh, okay. I'll put it in Scarface terms about the bad guy. You know,
Yeah.
remember
All
when he
right.
was talking to-
Something's happening up here up top, Brown. What do they got going on that third lane?
Man, I couldn't tell you really. I think it's a little half-hearted attempt here. You got some of the all-star racing drivers like Anderson working with the Bryant machine there right behind him, kind of ducking and diving, trying to maybe figure out some runs and work their way back up to the front, because that chase pack that we did have, well, they had caught up to this lead pack, and so we're all one big happy family up here once again.
One big happy family. Yeah.
That's not what I think of these guys. I think of them as enemies. I want to see them, just duke it out in the middle of the infield.
The frenemies. That's what it is. They're friends off the track, enemies on the track. Look at the third line developing here with the 32 of Biddy and the 329. Dylan Bryant's with them. See if it fizzles out or if they can make some ground here.
I don't know.
And that 32 machine, he's doing a heck of a lot of pulling right now, and you can see some people like Double O Joe. He's going to jump on up there. He sees the run, and he wants to maybe join up with it here a little bit. And then, of course, they lose a little bit of momentum. Well, they just tuck right back in the line and gather all back on up. And I wouldn't doubt if before they reach the end of the back straightaway here, they make another play maybe to that far outside lane if it doesn't get pinched on off.
That's their strong part of the track there for the outside line is the back stretch and then coming on around. So you got to jump on it though to make that run work. If you're going to pass some people on the outside. Pretty good run right now.
Ooh, it's going to the bottom lane there. 71 machine making some dives of his own.
There you go. See, he knows how to play that little merry-go-round situation up in the front.
And in the meantime, here we go. 3 wide, battling for this race lead. The 27 in the middle with some help from that one machine of DW. Getting sucked backwards here as that top line makes a one heck of a run there with that 32 and other drivers in tow.
It's about to be a mess here, boys. 3 wide, that many cars deep. Check out the 68. We haven't talked about him very much here this season, but Christopher Campbell's got a pretty neat paint job there, and he's been pretty steady. He's been steady all race here and kind of taking care of his machine. He's up 12 spots in 15th place right now.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome for him.
Yeah, man.
They're
Good to see it.
Man, they're just getting sneaky up front here. 3 wide for 3 rows back for a while. Now we're kind of just jumping around back and forth. Joe Bennett is stuck in the middle by himself currently. Nope. He got blocked.
I think that's one of the topics that's going to be maybe addressed after the race review is some of the blocking activity. We have heard some comments from some of the drivers on the radio about the aggressive blocking strategies and stuff, but it's part of the race, but you gotta know when,
when to hold them and when to fold them. Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, you don't normally block until the last part of the race, right? I mean, that's what I always thought.
Well, not necessarily. I mean,
you got to pick the right time. How about that?
Yeah. The outside line is still making some progress here, as now they're side by side with the lower line with Chris Klein down there.
Rewind.
3 wide, about 5 deep.
Yeah, and you can
4
see
deep.
here as we've been riding with that 68 at Campbell for a little bit, just the ebb and flow that goes on up here, especially when they're 3 wide like this. Middle lane gets moved backwards, middle lane goes up forwards, bottom lane goes up and backwards. So this is just, man, it's who's going to stick well together. Oh, as we got someone up there scraping the outside wall a little bit, and
Gavin Ray.
still moving on back. Gavin Ray of that 27 machine, he's got some work to do. And I got a feeling that outside lane's got some work to do here as well, as they've lost an important member. Here comes that one of DW to fill in for that gap. And so I think with 4 people, they're in a pretty good spot here, Mr. English.
And let me tell you what happened on that last lap when the outside line should have been suffering. The 51 got too far ahead of his pusher, and that's when the inside line lost all their momentum. That's very important to stay right there in front. You want to, just keep the pedal down, but you got to stay in front of that pusher, because that's what happened. The outside couple of lines were able to take advantage and get huge runs, and that's why they're several car lengths ahead right now.
There's a pretty good run on the bottom with the 51.
Yeah, but now they're on the backstretch, so it's going to be gone.
It's going to die out. Look at Derek Welch diving down to the middle. See what he does after this, but Derek Welch.
Oh, 13's around.
Oh,
13,
coming back
51
up into the track. Oh, and that's going to bring out the yellow flag. So there goes the fuel concerns out the window. Drivers, if they need to, are going to be able to come on down and pit. But the 13, Jonathan Hammond, getting all beaten, battered, and bruised.
Yeah.
Difference of opinion.
There was a difference of opinion they're having out here. I'd like to hear all this. Arguments.
Klein told the 13, hey, man, you weren't clear. 13 said, I definitely was clear. I don't...
Well, let's jump on up to the tail of the chopper. And
both can't be right here.
Show this one in the slow motion. Well, he was clear when he initially started the climb down. It's the problem was by the time the bumpers got there, he was no longer clear. Oh, 79 getting into the 6 a little bit there. The 5 plowing straight into the 13 there as well. Oof, hard impacts.
That's what exactly you said it just perfectly.
Yeah, well, I just think the 13 thought he could get down in that line, and there was too much. There was too much momentum.
The difference in speed was faster than the spotter could respond.
And you're trying to make quick decisions in the cockpit, and you can't really judge if you don't have a good spotter per se. You can't really judge how quick they're moving on you, because when you're in the middle and you got a row of cars down low, they're moving fast. Especially in that instance, they were moving faster than your row, and it just didn't work out.
And I feel bad for the 13.
Yeah.
He knew that he was right in his head, because he said, I had a gap. My spotter didn't tell me nothing, and it happened at that very instant. You know what I mean?
Well, you got to follow the science sometimes. Just follow the science, man.
Are you going to tell me that you are the science? Is that the next line that's coming?
Yeah, I mean, there's certain people that think they are the science. They changed the goalposts to science. Science I thought was not like opinionated, but apparently now it is. So, you can just make science up. Like, hey, the sky is purple, and that's called science. Okay. But no, that's blue. No, you're not following the science. The science that says the sky's purple, so you're stupid.
Speaking of purple,
yeah, they're all up front, aren't they?
Oh man, they were all in a line here. It looks like Nick Biddy and the one machine of Derek Welch will be in between them here, but for the most part, all the Purple Heart cars out there with that awesome paint job. done by Daniel, are trying to stick together out there because they leave no one behind.
It's a really good cause too.
There's all kinds of awesome charities, and
Organizations, yeah.
Boyd, he mentioned Mission 22. That's a great one. And I know that's not just military. I think that touches in the law enforcement community as well.
Yeah, it does.
But so many of the LE guys are retired military also, or separated military guys. It definitely crosses over quite a bit.
Or even if they're not, they have their own problems, PTSD, and they're killing themselves at astounding rates.
I know you've lost a lot of friends as well.
I have, and it's
A couple.
pretty bad, man. It's just something that nobody really wants to talk about. So these websites and the there's people to talk to. You got to get on there, and you can seek them out yourself and be discreet and all that stuff if you're having issues.
But the point is, definitely reach out, man. If
Yeah, for sure.
And know how to identify it in your buddy, and
Yeah.
know what to do if you think they might be in danger of succumbing to the demons,
Yeah. T.G. Shepard talked about it. There's a devil in the bottle. Let's lighten this thing up. I mean, I love those paint schemes, and that's a good, that's an awesome cause, and you can check that out on your own. We're not here to preach to you. We're here to give you science, facts, realities of racing.
Some comedy.
Maybe I don't. Some people probably don't think it's
comedy.
funny. We hadn't.
I don't think most of it's funny.
Yeah, I think it is, but that's just me. We got quite a few people in here tonight. I'm looking for Valiant. I hadn't heard from him in a while.
Yeah.
Concerned that he's lost in the desert.
Well, how about Derek Don out there saying, "Hey, Ginger, I think it's time to chat." He snuck up a few spots. That's what we get all ready to get all locked and loaded. How about this? Up 27, up 27, up 29. That's your top three right now as we round out a turn number 4, getting things ready to go back to the green flag. Joe Hoggard, Kevin Delia, Dana Shepard, all locked on in here. The 8 of Dylan Bryant up there as well. As here we go. Everybody getting ready to tune it on up here once again. Well, because we're tuning on up, how about we crank it up? We haven't cranked it up in a while, so
awesome.
Let's head on down to the green flag here and crank it on up. Oh, man, as we break up the noise party with some yellow flag here. As Evangelista running into a little bit of a problem. Looks like Albert Anderson's tore on up. Same thing with Anthony Williams. AJ Evangelista running into some problems down there.
It looked like 329 was on the back door of Bryant. He got turned by someone into Biddy, which got into the 005, and it was mayhem after that.
I was the 005 down low. Ooh, boy, yeah. So this started a little ways ago. So maybe a unsquare bump, maybe the cause of this. As this, I mean, 329 was all over the back bumper of the 8. The 71 comes on up. Oh, just an unsquare touch of that rear bumper, sending Anderson down into the 32 down, and it just collects each other back on up against that outside wall. And you can see there 329 at Anderson. Oh, and he later gets into I think that was the 48 of Skylar Harrod also getting snagged up in it too.
I think that 71 had already turned Albert earlier in the race.
Drew Blaze caught a piece of that action there as well.
That might have taken out some people from the that may have already used their fast repair.
Well, I think that took out Albert Anderson, and he's not happy with the 71. We just heard him on the radio.
I mean, mistakes are going to happen out there.
Well, that
we
was
talked
twice.
about how to bump draft here, and it's not easy to keep it straight.
Well, and you got
That's
to
why-
realize
was that the second time.
that was almost a push-the-pusher situation as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's hard to see what the guy in front of you is doing as far as his front end, what's going on.
Hey, is Paul Ferdiani out there in the YouTube world watching us from Vegas?
Dude, he's in an Uber cab. Going
That's
to
not a
his
cab;
next-
it's an Uber.
Well,
different
it's
thing.
a taxi cab, right? It's the
No,
same
it's an
thing.
Uber. No, it's not the same. Just
You have to-
anyway. I don't want to explain this to you right now.
explain to the folks.
I don't want
But
to.
yeah, Paul out there in Vegas, hopefully winning some poker money out there.
Yeah, the gambler, his
Y'all didn't-
nickname
y'all
for a
didn't
reason.
know. Yeah, he's an expert poker player.
I wonder if he's staying at one of them fancy hotels, or if he stays at like a dump, like on leaving Las Vegas, somewhere on the side of the strip, He
Yeah.
could tell us, I guess. I always stayed at like the
I don't know.
Flamingo, It was affordable, had a little history. It was like a partial dump,
Yeah.
I was always gambling in the dive holes anyway. What you got there, Brown?
I'm just saying,
I don't know. Brittany Cotton says, I don't know how to read this. I don't understand what it means. It says, number 7, we need some salty cracker. Is this bish per Mr. Jerry? I don't know what that means, but maybe.
I wonder
It was me. It was me, Daniel. Yeah, it was me.
Yeah, I think it's instead of is, I think it's in this bish.
Bish?
Well,
Bish?
Bish is like the new slang for,
Oh, okay.
the B-I-T and the
Well, this
C
is
and
from-
then the N.
This is from Mr. Jerry, so.
I don't know who Mr. Jerry is, but I like his style.
Yeah.
He knows
Maybe we
what's
do
happening.
need some salty cracker. I don't know.
I was
what
gonna
that
say,
means.
with the salty cracker. But that's the part that
That's
I
what
think we need to dissect. What is
That's what I
salty
put in
cracker?
chili. Explain this.
Well,
Salty
let me
cracker.
think. Well, maybe they're just angry, like a salty person. Hey,
What's
he's
that
salty.
Cajun cook guy that used to be a state
That's stale
Louisiana?
stale
Oh,
cracker.
stale cracker. Okay.
But we
Stale.
need him too. We could use him. I could
Oh, I could use
Go
him. Oof.
I want
whatever
some
he's
jambalaya
cooking.
now.
Need to teach all these New England folk how to do a.
Yeah, like a.
He was up in Maine. I just saw him.
Oh, was
he
he?
was up in Maine. Yeah, I don't know. But they were doing an event, something. But that dude's crazy, man. That's a coon ass right there.
stale cracker. Yeah, some good recipes on there.
Mm-hmm.
You get past his craziness, you can learn a thing or two.
No, he's good. Well, some people probably don't want to eat that turtle, that alligator snapping turtle, or anything that he does. But
Oh man,
some of the other
sauce,
stuff is good.
sauce piquant and stuff
Yeah,
like
sauce piquant. Yeah,
that. Yeah.
I don't want none of that actually.
Since we have a race car and the name of the car is Salty Cracker. Oh, okay. Oh, very cool. They're a racing family as well.
Oh,
Look at all these purple cars up in the front, boys. I love this. This is what I'm talking about right here.
Yeah, coming on down to single digits left to go here as the lights on the pace car turn on off, which means people that aren't your teammates, well, they're basically enemies at this point. And even at that point, when that white flag waves, even your teammates might become enemies. But we'll just have to wait and see how this all pans on out as the pace car trickles off down onto pit road. Joe Hoggard in the 53 of Delia getting things started off here side by side up at the front. And you can see those two teammates of Shepard and Boyd getting things all started off side by side here as well in separate lanes.
Green flag in the air. Here we go.
Here we go indeed. The field is locked in and locked tight as they make their way down across the line. Big shove there from that 78 to the 53, trying to get out in front here, maybe open up a hole for his teammate to slip on through, but his teammate not quite ready for it. It doesn't look like he's not slipping up to that high side, as there goes the 53 of Delia with a fantastically titanic push there.
oh. Can we say that word anymore, Brown? Titanic, is that allowed? I feel like
Big. I mean,
Well, if you use it,
I feel
use
like
it as
it's-
like a verb or an adverb, I think you're okay.
I feel like we've been canceled, with the Titanic, with what happened this week. The distraction that was.
big check up on the inside line here behind these purple cars.
And you can see a big shuffle there as the 13, Jonathan Hammond in that Hooters machine gets kind of shuffled there in the middle up against the outside wall. There goes that 27 of Gavin Ray trying to pick up some spots here. He does have some help from that 7 of Tristan Cotton. The Trister trying not to be too much of a tornado, but make his way on up there on that far outside lane. You got the 51 of Chris Klein there in the middle, getting a very good push from the 17 of Tate Cawthorn. He's got the 8 machine there behind him as well. Oh, as we're gonna have a contact. Oh boy, there we
Get low,
go.
guys. That one took forever to happen. It felt like.
It did. You could feel it boiling up right there. It didn't end up
13
getting-
had a huge run.
Whole bunch of race cars missing some stuff. Oh shoot, even the 5 machine is beached. Can't get back up onto the track. He's gonna have to back it off and then try to reattack from a different angle there. Whew,
Well,
goodness gracious me.
I'll tell you what.
I gotta scroll. There's the yellow flag tag. As we go ahead and kind of watch what unfolded here as we were going 3 wide. Shoot, it even almost went 4 wide there for a split second by the looks of it. You can see there the looks like the 23 with a big run up the middle. Oh no, did that start because of some net code here? I think it may have.
I think that was going to happen either way. The 13 and the 23 were going to hit anyway. I think.
Yeah. And then, like you said, Adam, it was something that you just felt was gonna, just explode in the middle of this field. It just took forever. I mean, these guys were, still traveling, not really completely wrecking for about 400 feet until you get into the corner, and then that's when all hell broke loose.
These like guys like the 64 just bobbing and weaving, trying to get through all the wrecking cars. It's just crazy to watch that.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a little bit of cat-like reflexes to get around some of that stuff. It happens so quick.
64 Hoggard, he was one of them.
He was kind of bouncing around like a ping pong ball a little bit there.
Yeah, he was.
Let's go ahead and take a ride here with the 19 of Stephen Wood, one of the purple machines, who got a good view of it. Immediately checking up, recognized what was going on down there on the bottom with a little bit of luck as the seas parted for him on that apron.
Wow. Well, we're going to have to re-rack them here. And you were talking about the Titanic, Brown. We mentioned that last week we had this distraction. Everybody was watching this poor thing go down, and unfortunately some bad things happened. But they let that news cycle play out while your friend Bill Gates, he decided that he was going to force a fake chicken down your throat. So he's pushed this. It's not even real chicken. It's like
a rubber chicken.
It's made in a laboratory-made chicken, and the FDA approved it while you were watching that whole debacle out there in the Atlantic. So, and that's all backed by Bill Gates, enemy of America number one. Number one, does it taste good?
Can we deep fry it?
No, it's not even real. It's grown in a lab. He's trying to destroy you. If he could put whatever he wants in it.
I want to put some Tonys and some.
Oh, you're gonna go down like that, then? That's fine.
No, I'm gonna deep fry it just to see if it's any good.
Well, you can get it in the stores now because that passed
What's it
FDA's
called?
approval.
Bill Gates chicken?
Yeah, it ought to be called Bill Gates chicken. Bill Gates fake chicken. Here to kill you soon.
Bruce is like, what are we talking about? A fake chicken?
Ruining America. Sorry, you got here late.
It's not like a rubber
I had to
chicken.
get that off my chest. This guy, so arrogant. You know, he didn't even. He stole Microsoft from some guy, and then he thinks he's some kind of genius. You guy's a clown.
He's pretty rich, though.
I don't care how rich he is. I'll cage fight him. The lights of the pace car are off.
Ooh, yeah,
Thank
that
goodness.
TRs. I'm getting pictures of, well, I kind of want to see this cage fight.
Yeah, I'm
Rubber
in.
chicken in a lab. I don't
I'll do the beginning fight for Musk and that other idiot, Zuckenheimer, whatever his name is, and then me and Bill Gates will go at it in the beginning cage match. I'll do it for free, for America. I'll put the big old whooping on that boy. Don't kid yourself. For
Old Bruce.
USA.
Old Bruce just turning in at the exact right time for that. Absolutely, absolutely love it. Meanwhile, as this field's going to come back down and around, and green flag will wave with 3 laps to go. So it's an unofficial green, white checker finish here tonight. Of course, we do have the opportunity to go green, white checker finish if it does so happen here, but we just have to wait and see how this one plays on out. We're going to have the 51 to Chris Klein and 17 Tate Cawthorn up at the front, the 1 of DW and the 79 Jarrett Woodard. Canada's own up there as well. The 8 of Dylan Bryant, Brian Boyd, and the 78 Machine up there as well. 71 of Blaine Woodruff, 19 Stephen Wood. The X-Man, Justin Johnson, up there as well as the 32 of Nick Biddy, with Dana Shepard still hanging on. Just kind of lurking there inside of that top 10 area as well. So here we go with the pace car peeling on off down onto the pit road. The field makes that slow trickle down through the tri-oval one more time as we get all locked and loaded here, ready to go green flag racing. Side by side, they're all lined up. There's the flag, and here we go. Now underway, back down across the line. 3 laps to go. Excuse me, here in this race from Talladega. Man, I was so good up until right then.
Well, you're doing a lot of work there, Brown, and this is where it gets very hard for you.
Oh, getting all
get wild.
Big checkup.
Big checkup there is. You can just see all the purple cars getting all lined on up. The 2 down on the bottom, Scott Milner with some 69 help from Larry Dickerson, trying to make his way as we're already going 3 wide here in the middle. You can see that 71 machine down on the bottom, trying to push that 8 machine. The X-Man slipping and sliding down into position, trying to gather up whatever positions left he can tried to pick on up. He slides in behind that 78 of Brian Boyd and looks to that far outside lane, though. The other DEP graphics drivers riding up there as well, looking good as a team.
Brittany Cotton out there. Come on, Tate Cawthorn in the 17, that Western Auto car. Got some fans out there, Tate. Make something happen, boy.
And meanwhile, the 51...
3 wide. Golly.
3 wide here in the middle of the pack. Meanwhile, up at the front, Chris Klein, DW, and 17 of Cawthorn working really well together. But here comes that outside lane with an unsquared bump. Oh, how were they able to hold on to that? I do not know. And then still getting squeezed on up there. Oh, as there they go. The 79 goes around, and here goes the rest of the field. Oh, tumbling and topsy-turvy as we got one up in the outside catch fence, which is why it is put up there, folks. Oh, goodness.
79 went up high to try to stop the momentum up there by the 8, and then just everything let loose. We're going to see some green-white checkers tonight, boys.
Yeah, we're used to seeing that at this type of track. I mean, we knew it was coming, and Scott Milner put it best. He said, you guys just lose your mind on these last 2 laps, and we've seen it time and time again. It's true. It gets Western, man.
He's trying to win, man. I mean...
Well, speaking of Scott Milner, he goes for a wild ride, doing the old Herbie jumping off the top rope there. Fortunately, he lost some oomph to his jump, does a couple rolls. Does he get back to the wheels? Yes, he does.
He ride the fence like that.
I don't know, but let's take a ride, because he went from the bottom all the way up into the fence. So let's go ahead. Oh, my goodness.
Awesome.
That's pretty,
Oh, my God.
that's pretty fun, at least.
Oof, man. Too is Scott Milner. I will say, during that wreck, though, he was the safest car up there in that catch fence because no one else could get up there to hit him.
That's true. And then he just barrel rolled Ricky Bobby style down into the grass and landed. Stuck the landing, and the car was still running.
You should turn that little clip into iRacing, or somebody
Yes,
should.
we got to do a TikTok clip of that one.
That was a cool one, man. He rode that fence for a while. Then he went all the way down and landed it. Kept driving.
That was badass right there.
I mean, he's in the pits. I mean, but sure looked fun.
Probably the clip of the race right there, probably.
This TikTok phenomenon. I thought that was.
Or
We weren't
YouTube.
allowed to use that, you know.
Well, you can do clips and like post them. I think you can do it on YouTube too, where you can clip like your favorite part of the video and then it'll repost or something. I don't know how it works.
So, like splice and film is what you're gonna have to do.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah. I mean, I know how to use electronic mail, and
Yeah.
it doesn't qualify me to clip video clips. I don't know how to do it. I just know that you can.
Well, so
Explain
that was my
how to
whole.
do it.
That was my whole point with Bill Gates. Just because he stole Microsoft from his
Lord.
buddy, what gives him the right to tell us what we're supposed to eat that he grows in a lab somewhere, where they snuck it in the cover of darkness when there was all kinds of mayhem going on the news.
I know more about
world.
this chicken. What is it made out of?
I don't. It's lab grown. You tell me.
So
you
is it
tell me.
lab grown from chicken?
I don't know what it's grown from. How can you grow a chicken in a lab that's not a real chicken? It's all fake.
How is it fake? I don't understand. You're growing a chicken.
No, you're
It's
not
gonna
growing
be
a whole chicken. No, you're growing like chicken meat, not a chicken.
How do you get the meat without the rest of the
It's
chicken?
probably a 3D printer or something.
A 3D print me a drumstick.
Yeah. I don't even think it's a drumstick. I think it's just like the meat.
I take a thigh. I like dark meat, man.
Yeah,
3D
well,
print me some thighs. I will make some gumbo.
Well, you know what? You'll be one of the first ones to go. You follow that theory and see what happens to you. You're better off being vegan.
I don't think I could live that way. I mean, I know there's people that do it for health benefits and all that. Couldn't do that.
I don't think there's much benefit to it, is
Gotta
there?
have me some animals.
Protein, yeah. Speaking of animals,
Tracy Cotton says test tube chicken. Hashtag
Yeah.
test tube chicken.
yeah, you're gonna have to do your own research. Don't listen to me for your soul
Yeah,
source.
yeah.
But you go down there in the rabbit hole. There, it's not made. It's not like that. It's some devious stuff they're doing out there. But that's behind us now. Now the animals are on the track. The drivers are out here gonna act like crazy people here for this last our first of 3 green-white checkers.
That indeed. Well, meanwhile, here we go, getting ready for our first official green-white checker attempt. As always, we'll remind you what the rules are. These drivers will go ahead, come back around, take to that green flag. If they make it all the way back around and the leader crosses that line to take the white flag before anything happens, that will be it. We will complete that lap no matter what chaos will ensue. However, if a caution flag does come out before the leader crosses that line to take the white flag, then we get to re-rack and stack it up and do it all over again. I believe we have a total of 3 attempts, and hopefully we don't have to use all of them here tonight, and we get this thing finished with a big old party style.
I hope
Yes.
so, man. Let's get this thing going.
I see pace car trickles his way on down into pit road here. Gonna have the 51 of Chris Klein and the 1 of DW getting things started here at the front. The 17 of Tate Cawthorn and the 78 of Brian Boyd still up here as well. You got the 79 of Woodard, 78 of Boyd side by side. Justin Johnson, Dylan Bryant there as well. As here they go. Green flag is out, and the one making a big break. The problem is he's got no help there immediately, giving him a push. That's going to give the advantage down there to that bottom line with the 51 and the 17, whose bumpers have been staying all locked on up. You can see there the 79 machine now trying to get a big shove from the 8 machine as the 51 trickles on up to that middle to outside lane. The 1 of DW giving a little bit of a shove here to the 17, the 10 pushing that 1 machine there as well. As oh boy, this party is just getting started there. Oh man, a hard impact there for the X machine.
Yeah, a little 3 wide action here between the 44, the 78, and the 32.
Well, they just got to get
That's way
across
back
this
in the
line right here.
Which oh man, it was getting close. I didn't think we were gonna make it, but here they go down through that tri-oval. Will they make it to that line? Oh, I think the leader crossed it. So we have absolute chaos going on down there as the field continues to race this one on out. Doesn't look like anybody's lifting. So yeah, here we go. This is it, the final lap here. Oh, as the field's wrecking in the middle. So here we go. It's just going to be the 51, 17, and the 10 with some help. Here comes the 1 with a big push on the outside from the 8 as well. Absolutely slicing and dicing their way. The 51 trickles on down low to get a big push from the 10 machine, trying to get Justin Johnson maybe all tied on up here. Here comes that 68 of Chris Campbell here as well. Moving on up to that far outside lane as the 10 moves on down low. Running across for the final time. Drag race, and it's going to be noses to noses here. Who wins it? Looks like Chris Klein by a few inches picks up the race win.
Chris Klein by 2 thousandths of a second over Justin Johnson.
Oh my goodness.
Incredible.
There was a lot to unpack on that last lap, Brown. I don't know how you did it. Good call, because I was just watching in amazement of all the stuff that was going on out there.
Yeah, we'll take a look here as they took to the white flag. You see some of the beating and banging and just absolute chaos breaking loose out there in that kind of like the secondary part of the mid pack. And then as they were making their way down through turns 1 and 2, things looked pretty solid. And then looks like a little bit of a slip up. Oh, just getting loose there was a 27. There goes a whole bunch of other traffic there as well. And then it was just a matter of some slicing and dicing for these drivers. And made 51 making some good moves, the 10 making some good moves as well, and how about that 68 of Campbell sticking with it where he needed to, and boy, I thought he could have come up here and possibly stole this one away as well, as it was just an absolute drag race down the line, even some door checks there from the 10 machine as they came out of the tri-oval, and let's go ahead and head on down there and go frame by frame to take a look at this finish here tonight.
Keep in mind, 3 guys in the top 5 that finished in the top 5 were up 24 plus positions. Amazing.
And that is your photo finish here tonight. 1, 2, and 3, all within a nose length of each other.
Yeah, no, I think very clean by Klein and Johnson to just they kind of gave each other the door a little bit, but it wasn't anything extreme. They kept
Nobody
it
dumped
together.
each other, yeah.
No, good racing. And if Campbell would have had an extra 100 yards, he probably would have got him. He just had that momentum.
Yep.
But
Right.
man, fun stuff, man, all over the track. Mayhem, fights. This was one for the books, boys.
That indeed, as we go ahead and start some of these interviews off underway, and we can talk to the X-Man himself, Justin Johnson, with some big pushes there at the end to the 51 of Chris Klein, putting himself in a pretty good position trying to pick up the race win here tonight, man. But things got all helter and skelter down there on that final lap. Justin, just kind of curious what your thoughts on were that.
Trying to get to the front without teammates is not easy to do. And then I saw Chris out there with a good run, and I was just like, "No, we're fixing to run this thing as a drag race side by side." I was going to get on him and try to slow him down, but neither one of us were going to give up. Going to lift, so it was a good finish. I just kind of wish my teammates wouldn't have got caught up in those wrecks, so they could be up there to help me out. It was fun.
Well, you and the Garza Law Firm Ford Mustang, hell of a job out there today. Love watching somebody run a little bit different car out there with a Roman numeral 10 on there, the X. Love watching you run out there. I tell you what, man, next week's going to be completely different. You guys are going to Circuit of the Americas. How are you on road courses in these stock cars, and you looking forward to it?
Absolutely not.
I'm with you, man.
I'm terrible at road courses. I'm pretty sure DW would rather me just sit here and drink beer and not even show up, because I get on a road course, I can be perfectly sober, and I'm going to look like a drunk out there anyway.
Well, you didn't tonight, man. You were rolling tonight.
Honestly, man, I just got lucky. I'm not gonna lie, I definitely needed that one, because I have been super frustrated. I've been caught up in wrecks and the Super Speedway Series and here in the Cup Series. And it's like I was telling my teammates, man, I've managed to be up, lead some laps, be in the top 3, top 5, and nothing to show for it, because before it's all said and done with, I end up wrecked out. So it feels good to finally get a podium.
Man, awesome job. Do you have some shout-outs?
Absolutely, man. Everybody at my team over there at Lone Star Racing, big shout out to Drew Blaze and PJ Cox here in this league that helped me out through the majority of this race, trying to work together. Nueva Designs over there, he does a lot of the paints for me. Give him a big shout out. Mike Fahey over at Race Wraps. Fahey Race Wraps, he does a lot of work for us too. Everybody, like I said, at Lone Star, all of you guys over here at AAA Broadcasting, man, thank you guys for what y'all do. Shout out to DW over there at NTRL. Thanks for putting these leagues on and allowing us to have a place to race. Got to thank, the queen of LSR, my wife, Randy Chick. And also want to give a big shout out to the man above.
Awesome, man. Well,
There you go.
congratulations there, Justin, finally breaking through here, picking up that podium spot here tonight in second, bringing that 10 machine up 10 places from where you started, man. Great running. Good luck with the rest of your races here this week there, buddy.
I appreciate it, guys. Y'all have a good night.
Good to see a Texan on the podium there.
Yeah, I saw that. Hey, look here. There was a correction. English, bless your heart. They're going to Bristol next week, dirt.
Oh, so the schedule's wrong.
Well,
I
I
got
don't know.
I think there was a vote out there. I didn't see him jump on in there. We'll have the third place finisher here tonight, the 68 of Chris Campbell, moving up 24 spots here tonight to pick up that third place podium spot, man. And Chris, if that start finish line was maybe another 100 feet longer away, I think you could have probably snuck your way into a win here.
Yeah, I just needed another 30, 40 feet, and I would have got it. I think it was if they would have been rubbing on each other, I wouldn't have got even that close.
Well, that Mustang was quick tonight. We were watching you move up through the field. We don't call your name a whole lot in these races, but man, you really had a solid one out there tonight, and it was definitely noticed. Bristol Dirt next week. You looking forward to the dirt track? Do you have much experience there?
No, I don't. It's going to be another one of them. Just try to keep my nose clean and at least stay on the lead lap as long as I can. I don't have a whole lot of experience on that track.
Well, great job tonight. Yeah, another 100 feet. You probably would have had them. But third place, not too bad. Who would you like to give some shout outs to?
I'd just like to thank NTRL and my business, Bearded Bear Custom Hides. Appreciate everybody putting it on.
Awesome, man. Well, great running out there from Mr. Chris Campbell, picking up the podium finish here tonight there in third, man. Congratulations, and good luck with the rest of the schedule coming on up here, buddy.
Thank you, guys. Y'all have a good night.
I love it when guys got their own business on their card. Bearded Bear Custom Hides. Very cool. He probably does some taxidermy.
Hey, pretty
Oh,
dang
nice.
cool. As we head on up to tonight's race winner, and it's going to be the 51 of Mr. Chris Klein picking up that race win here tonight from Talladega. And boy, oh boy, Chris, as it always ever is, it was a wild ride here at Dega, and even more so, you had to throw some elbows out there to come across that line at first.
Yeah, I may have roughed up Justin a little bit coming to the line. I just didn't want to lose. Justin was a good sport about it. He definitely had a good run coming to the inside of me and got into me a little bit, and I just left it on him and luckily inched him out to the finish line. And what a race.
Yeah, the Martin Sports Toyota was always in the mix. Y'all were always in the thick of it all night tonight. The 51 machine was really fast. We saw, how the outside line gets its momentum on the back side of the track, and then it usually loses it on the front side of the track. I noticed one time it looks like you got in front of your pusher a little bit too much, and it looked like the outside runs just kind of kept on going all the way around the track. Is that kind of how you saw it? Did you try to drag some brake or anything? What was going through your mind?
Yeah, these next gen cars require you to keep a car on your back bumper. Especially if you're not all right there together. If it's just two of you and there's a gap, the second car can't quite get to the back bumper without you either letting up or dragging the brake a little bit. So you have to be aware of that and kind of get them back to you, basically, and help them get to you so they can push. So that's definitely part of the drafting plan.
Well, I mean, the plan worked for you. We saw some crazy stuff happen out there, but that's, what happens at a super speedway track. You stuck it out, finished on top. Good job. Congrats. Who would you like to thank?
All of our sponsors over here at NTRL, starting with Martin Sports, obviously. Derek asked me to run this paint scheme for them, and more than honored to do it. So thankful for what they do for this league. DEP Graphics, who did this paint scheme for us, they got the Beaver for my regular scheme for Beaver Toyota on the back. Just having a little fun with that one. Thankful for Sim Gear Central, Track Bar Media, Davidson Builders, Track Dogs Racing, all of them that contribute to putting on this show that we get to do all week long. Big thanks to Derek. I kind of let him down last night, and ended losing us a couple spots and a chance at a win last night. And then he still was willing to push me tonight and get me up front and keep me up there most of the night. And just thankful that he was there to help me, and the rest of the NTRL team, all working together to keep us up front.
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations on the race win here tonight. Look forward to seeing you guys back out here in action later on this week, buddy. And man, just go ahead and go celebrate this great win. Good job, bud.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good week.
And there we have it, fellas. Another wicked and wild ride here from Talladega coming to a close.
Yeah, man, it wasn't a caution fest. We did see a few crashes out here tonight, but what a finish, man. 0.02 of a second. It doesn't get much closer than that. We have seen some that were like tied to the 1,000th, and it got decided in the 10,000th column, which you can't even see on iRacing. But this was just about as close as you can get. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad we got to do this race here tonight.
Yeah, good time. That's 2 in a row. We've had some good races. We're going to carry that momentum, hopefully, through the rest of the week with all the other stuff we're doing. So I'm happy with this one. Good job, guys. Good job, Num Thumbs, and let's keep pushing forward.
At that, indeed. Let's go ahead and tell everybody where their favorite driver ended up finishing here tonight as the Tornado leaves the track. 51 of Chris Klein picking up the race win, with the 10 of Justin Johnson finishing there in second, and the 68 of Chris Campbell rounding out that podium. 17 of Tate Cawthorn having a great run here tonight as well, up 27 spots to finish in fourth. 23 of Sean Walton, though, up 28 spots, going to be your hard charger of the day. Going to be finishing here in, I have him in fifth, but apparently it's not. It's actually DW and the One Machine finishing here in fifth. You got the 66 of Drew Blaze finishing tonight in sixth, with the 8 of Dylan Bryant finding himself there in seventh. Got the, looks like the Jeff Ottinger machine having a pretty good run there for the 76, finishing it off here in 8th. Larry Dickerson in the 69, finding himself in that top 10 in 9th, with the 32 of Nick Biddy rounding out the field's top 10.
The 92 of Timothy Stubblefield had his fans out there tonight, but made a bunch of positions up, but couldn't break it into the top 10. He'll finish in 11th, but a great finish for him. Dana Shepard, same story, man. Up 20 spots to finish in 12th in the 44 machine. Great job by him. 78, Brian Boyd, another one of those purple people eaters out there. He'll finish in 13th place. Joe Hoggard, same deal. Thank y'all so much for running this awesome commemorative paint for all the Purple Heart recipients out there. 05 of PJ Cox will finish in 15th after starting way up front in third. Sean Walton worked his way up and then worked his way down, worked his way up, worked his way down. He'll finish in 16th place. Gavin Ray in the 27 led a couple of laps. We thought he might do something great here, but ended up getting caught up in some stuff. He'll finish the last car on the lead lap in 17th, right where he started. Jared Woodard in the 79 machine started outside row number 2. He'll finish in 18th place. 19th place, Russ Kilgore, one of those guys who usually is really good at passing a bunch of cars during a race. Only passed one. He'll finish in 19th place. Rounding out your top 20 tonight, the Trister, T-Cot, T-Money, the 7 machine, Tristan Cott.
19, Stephen Wood ended up 21st. Number 5, Anthony Williams, 22nd. Number 6, Joe David. 23rd, 71, Blaine Woodruff, 24th. Chris Gones in the 28, 25th. Skylar Harrod in the 48. He ended up 26th. 2 of Scott Milner, 27th. 13, Jonathan Hammond, 28th. 005, AJ Evangelista, 29th. 53, Kevin Delia, 30th. Joseph Bennett, 00 Joe, 31st. Mark Collins in the 45. He ended up 32nd. And unfortunately for Albert, America's driver, 329. He went from first last night to last tonight. So I know he wasn't happy with that. 33rd.
What about? Oh, yeah, that's it. That's the field.
That's it. That's all
cool.
I had.
All right.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
I don't know what to do either. But either way, we thank you all for tuning in and watching. As always, we'd love it if you would hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you get alerted every single time that we go live. And if you do enjoy any of it, be sure to hit that thumbs up button as well so we can continue to grow this fantastic community. Of course, we also have to say a huge thank you to PROspec Custom Accessories for their great sponsorship here tonight. Definitely go and check them on out down there in the Jacksonville, Florida area. If you're down there and looking to maybe soup up your ride. Of course, we also have to say a huge thank you to Davidson Builders, DEP Graphics, Sim Gear Central, Track Bar Media, and Martin Sports as well for all their continued support here of the NTRL, and we look forward to seeing them continue that partnership on, so that way we continue some fantastic racing that we see, like we've seen here tonight. With that, we shut things on down here this evening, but we'll be back tomorrow night with the HCK Beagles Racing League as they take on the It's a tricky track. It's a wrecky track. It's a Richmond track. We'll see those trucks take on Richmond tomorrow night. So definitely stay tuned for a fantastic show. But until then, I'm Alan Brown for Alan English and Adam Turner. We're signing off.
We gone.
Yeah.